Democrats are fighting back against the release of a 345-page report by House Republicans that criticizes the Biden administration's withdrawal from Afghanistan. It accuses them of watering down warnings about deteriorating security conditions. The White House blasted it as a, quote, partisan report based on cherry-picked facts. House Democrats dismissed it as simply an attempt to garner headlines in the heat of an election season. And here's Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
I do have a question about what they're doing over there. If they've had 3 years to assess what happened, why are they delivering a report after Labor Day in a presidential election year? I think it really feeds into a sense that this is something they're using as a political football.
Let's bring in Jake Sherman, co-founder of Punchbowl News and an MSNBC political contributor. Good to see you, Jake. We've talked about this before, but not in a while. House Democrats, we should say, also released their own memorandum. But I wonder if on either side there's really anything new here, or do these dueling releases fall within well-established party lines?
I think it's within well-established party lines, but a few things to note here. There's two facts worth focusing on. Number one, the withdrawal from Afghanistan garnered bipartisan condemnation when it happened. It was deadly. It was not executed well, as has been well reported, as you see the footage on the screen. This is never ideal for a withdrawal from a combat zone or from a theater, number one. Number two, everything House Republicans are doing right now, and House Democrats to that extent as well, any legislator is doing right now is going to be viewed through the prism of the 2024 election. And Pete Buttigieg made a point that I've heard from both Republicans and Democrats, that it's after Labor Day of a presidential election. And we noted last week that House committees, investigatory committees, the Oversight Committee, the Judiciary Committee, the Education and Workforce Committee in the House of Representatives are all holding hearings that squarely focus on Kamala Harris and her role in the Biden administration. So this is not surprising, to say the least, that this is coming out now, but it will be viewed through that prism.
Yeah, well, let me just look at this 345 pages in specific, because it does have Kamala Harris' picture in it a number of times, but nothing at all written about her. There's nothing in there that says, here's how she was involved in this or how she made a bad decision in this. So, I mean, is this, again, a lot of what we may see going forward, that they're going to try and tie Biden-Harris together? And, you know, they might make the argument, you can't just say I'm part of an administration when you talk about stuff that went well. You have to own all of it.
That's right. And it's really mood music, Chris, right? Like they are painting a picture of dysfunction in the Biden administration, of which Kamala Harris is the number 2 official. So that's effectively the collateral damage of having this report come out now. And by the way, this isn't to say that there isn't serious oversight work to be done and that there aren't things in that report that are worth examining and worth talking about. I mean, that's undoubtedly true. But that is how Democrats are able to undermine its integrity and its substance right now in the heat of an election season.
If I can change topics for just a minute, and I've got you, somebody who has better sourcing than almost anyone among people who whose job is to know politics and who live politics every day. What are you hearing from folks about the debate tomorrow? We keep talking about it as this enormous opportunity. It may be the only debate, right? It comes at a time when we see that the numbers are, in some cases, stalled. It is a race too close to call. I wonder what the interesting conversations you're having are with people who are deep in politics.
This is probably one of the bigger opportunities in a presidential race that is really devoid of any key turning points left, right? I mean, this might be the only debate. It is the first time Kamala Harris and Donald Trump most likely will have come face to face. And someone put it really well to me this morning, which is if we're walking away from this debate talking about Kamala Harris, she has lost. Her goal, according to this person, is to show Donald Trump, again, not my words, theirs, but it show Donald Trump as being not fit and a relic of the past and focused on himself and not what will be needed to better America. I think that's one way to look at it. I will say that there are a lot of Republicans who are uneasy about Donald Trump's campaign on Capitol Hill. First and foremost, House and Senate Republicans who want him to be talking about issues, not the 2020 election or rounding up political donors for some imagined legal effort after he wins the White House. They want him focused on the issues and focused on saying Kamala Harris is a progressive who is far to the left of the American people and is not fit for office.